Hi everyone. So this video is just going to be educational on three terms that are used wrongly often. So the three terms are theism, atheism, and anti-theism. Okay, so we'll start out with theism. Most people know what this is. It's generally just the belief in a god or gods. It usually means that that god or those gods created the universe, or at least are in charge of it. Okay, now since most people understand theism, let's move on to the ones that people don't understand all the time. So, atheism. A lot of people think that atheism means that you're claiming there is no God, but that is not true. Atheism is not exactly a belief, it's a rejection of a claim. So a theist would say there is a God, an atheist would say you don't have enough evidence for that. It's not explicitly stating that there is not a God, so there is no claim being made, it is just the rejection of another claim. It's not a set of beliefs or a religion. Religions claim things to be true. Atheism does not. It's not a religion. It is just saying there's not enough evidence to show that there is a God. So sometimes people like to bring up the burden of truth, and oftentimes an atheist will bring up the burden of truth to a theist and say, okay, you say there's a God, now you have to prove it. And in turn the theist will say, well, you also have a burden of proof because you have to prove that there's not one. The problem with that is that the atheist isn't claiming that there isn't one. The atheist is only claiming that there's not enough evidence for one. So there's nothing to prove from an atheist standpoint. There is only something to prove from a theist standpoint. And an atheist stance is you can't prove it. If this is a little bit difficult for you to understand, that's okay. Not a lot of people are familiar with this. But I did hear a good example from a show called The Atheist Experience, and if you think of it like a courtroom in the USA where guilty would be representative of God and innocent would be representative of there not being a God, the atheist would simply say not guilty. They wouldn't say innocent, they would just be saying, well, we don't have enough evidence here to show that they committed the crime, so we can't convict them of it. In the same way that we don't have enough evidence here to believe in a God, so we're not going to believe in it. We're not going to say explicitly that there isn't one, but we just don't believe that there is proof for one. Okay, so I think that should be clear now. If it's not, you can still ask about it. For now, we'll move on to the final term, which is anti-theism or antitheism. So this is the explicit claim that there is no God, or sometimes that the belief in God can be harmful or is wrong or is bad. So anti-theism should have a burden of proof. They need to prove that there is no God. Not like an atheist who just doesn't think that a theist can prove there's a God. An anti-theist is making a claim, so they do have something to prove. This is not a popular term, so sometimes its usage can be really loose. So depending on who you ask or what you read, it might mean a few different things. But generally, it's the claim that there's no God or that believing in God is wrong. Okay, so just to recap, we have theists who claim that there is a God or gods. We have atheists who say that claim doesn't have enough evidence, so I don't believe it. And then we have anti-theists who claim the exact opposite of what theists claim. The main reason for this is because there is widespread misuse of the word atheism. There are some videos that cover this already, but I don't feel like there are enough, and there are still plenty of people out there who don't get it yet. So if you have questions about it, about any of these terms or something in the middle of them or anything else, you can send me a message or make a comment, and if you'd like to hear discussion about anything else at all, you can comment or send me a message, whatever. So I hope you learned something. If you didn't, I hope you already knew all this and you're using these terms correctly. So if you like this type of discussion, please click like, and if you would like to have more, please subscribe. Thank you.